This is DownMyx, and today I'm bringing you a tutorial on how to make the signature bass that the artist Sketch uses. If you don't know who Sketch is, look up Predator by Crispy Sketch Remix, and you can get a pretty good understanding of what this bass will sound like in the end. So let's jump right into it, no dilly-dallying around. Oscillator 1, turn it to modern talking, lower the pitch to -20.19, wavetable position, intensity, and amplification all the way up, and slide this little slider, it'll be right here about, and then slide up to filter 1 all the way. Oscillator 2, turn make it a deep throat, bend minus plus, turn the pitch down to -20.19, wavetable position and intensity all the way up again, and amplification up to about 3/4. Slide this little slider up to filter 1 or F1 once again. Oscillator 3, you want to stick with the basic square saw 1, turn the pitch down to -20.19, wavetable position all the way up, intensity a little less than half, and amp a little more than half, then slide it up to filter 1. Now we want to go to the modulation oscillator. Turn the pitch down to -20.19. So you can see they're all -20.19. All the oscillators are -20.19. That's kind of important, otherwise it sounds weird. So ring mod. We'll want to turn the ring mod to oscillator 2 by clicking this little 2 right here. That means that the ring mod affects oscillator 2. Turn the knob up to, like right where I have it, a little less than 3/4. Then we want to turn the phase to oscillator 1. That means it affects oscillator 1. Then turn it to about 1/4. Then we can turn the noise feedback, insert 1 and insert 2 completely off, because we won't be needing any of those. You could turn them back on later for future use if you know how to use them properly. Not my say. Anyways, so going into filter 1, this is the really important part. This is what makes it sound. This is what gives it the sound. So filter 1, we want to change this to a scream, because it'll be on none when we start out. We want to change it to scream. Turn cutoff to right where I have it. Ignore this green line for now, all the green lines for now. I'll explain that in a bit. Turn the cutoff to where I have it. Scream a little less than none, or a little more than 0, and resonance halfway. Next, we'll want to go to 5 LFO. It'll say 5 LFO for you. Oh, right before I forget. Turn for envelope, turn the attack down, level up all the way. This is very important, just do that. Okay, not getting distracted again. So we'll want to go to 5 LFO. It'll say 5 LFO for you, but what makes it a performer for me is clicking this little menu right here and making sure it's on performer and not LFO. We'll want to click restart right here so that this little box is highlighted. And it'll start out pretty plain. It'll just have this kind of constant saw down kind of wave to it. So we'll want to click and drag this down to 8 right there. That's just how I have mine set up. You can have it on 16 if you want, but it's for variation's sake. And the variation that I speak of is loading these curves by clicking this little button. This is what gives it that, it repeats the same kind of pattern with the slowing down and speeding up of the modulation in this bass. And the overall speed of how fast it goes through these steps is controlled by the rate knob. You can click sync, but I choose not to, just because it acts funny on my Ableton. So we'll want to drag performer 5, this little arrow thing, we'll want to drag that up to this little box in cutoff and pull it all the way up until you can see this little green mark right here. Drag it up to scream until it's where it's at on my screen a little more than halfway. And then we'll want to drag 5 performer up to performance, or resonance, sorry, and drag it up a little bit. FX1 should be a Bronner tube. Turn dry wet to till it's facing the R, and dry like a little less than half. Drive keep in the middle. FX2 dimension expander. This is incredibly useful. Otherwise, your sound sounds very flat. You want to turn the dry wet up a little bit to about 1030-ish, and size up a little past half. EQ, low shelf, boost, and high shelf up just a little bit, and then frequency turned down a little bit. So if you follow all these steps correctly, and if you couldn't really follow along that well, just go back, watch the video again, pause where you need to. In the end, it should sound something like this. And that's how you make a sketch bass. And also, you might want to go into audio effects afterwards, scroll down to EQ 8 or 3, whichever your pleasure, and then boost the 1 a little bit. I use EQ 8, it's easier for me to understand. This boosts the bass a little bit, makes it a little nicer. And I'm actually using this from a track that I'm working on. This will be published very soon. I hope you enjoy it when it comes out. It says untitled for a reason, by the way. If you want a little sneak peek of what this sounds like in an actual track, I'll go ahead and give you a little sample of how it sounds. Yeah, here we go. So that is what the sketch bass sounds like when I recreate it in Massive. This program costs $200. You can get it by torrenting. I'm not going to tell you to torrent it because that's a gray area in terms of legal issues. I'm not going to tell you to buy it unless you want to make this. You know, it's not my saying whether you pay for it or not. Just do what you feel is right. And until the next tutorial, where I'll be recreating a CyberOptics / Quartus Sol kind of sliding metallic bass. I will see you later, YouTube. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Make sure to subscribe, like, favorite, etc. You know, all that stuff. I'm not very good at saying goodbyes. Anyways, have a nice day.